Good morning, guys. Swaggy, I'm not sure if you're watching, but yeah, I'll post the gamma levels soon. Andrew, good morning. So guys, so overnight futures, I'm just here on SPX USD, and we had a nice little punch after hours, right? They've just straight been down after hours. We had a little 39.20 test, and now we're down 70 points from yesterday. And I really did not want to gap down. We're down 70 points on futures. Wow. So we're gonna open up with a huge gap down, right? And let's see what happens here, because 38.50 is a very strong support. All right, I'll just remove these gamma levels for now. So 38.50 will be very strong support, right? And we're opening with a 70-point gap down. Let's see if we reverse back. I hope we do. I hope at least we go back to 38.80 by any chance. But I don't know. We had some negative comments from FedEx, and just a lot of negativity out there. But anyways, damn. So let's see how we play this today. Let me just go back on SPX. Yep, we're gonna be opening with a big fat gap down today, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe it's a gap down and continuation, something like this, on June 10th or something. Maybe it's one of these days, right? We gap down and we just continue down. It could be one of those days, or maybe we reverse back up. Today is quad bridging, right? So we do have quad today. Just keep that in mind. We do have quad today, right? And with that, 3900 is a very good level. 3850 is a very good level. Both of these have massive gamma exposures. Okay, if we do go below, it's incremental of 50 base, mainly 3800, 3750, and so on, right? And then upside, obviously, if we reclaim 3900 by any chance today, we can go a little bit higher, but I doubt it. For now, we are weak, right? For now, we are weak. Let's see what happens. With this big gap down, it's gonna be very hard to point this out, but we do have our put wall, which is still 3900. 3900 is still our put wall, all right, and the 3950 is the call wall, which is shifted lower, is the call wall, right? And Swaggy, I'll post these levels shortly. I think, yeah, 3800. And let's just look at some other macro indicators. Let's look at the US 10-year first. Oh wow, 3.47. This is back at the high of the June highs, and SPX is still much higher than the June lows, right? So let's see what happens today. In case the rates do break out and we go higher, there's a good chance we're gonna dive down. Yep. Dollar is so primed for another breakout. As long as we hold above 110, and we're holding above 110, if we hold above 110, it's going to be very, very hard for equities to come down. All right, it's going to be very, very hard for them to come down. All right, so just keep an eye on dollar as well. Euro USD should be bear flagging. It's pretty much ready to break down almost. It's pretty much ready to break down almost here. So let's see how this one plays out later, right? And what else we have? USD yen should be breaking out as well. Yep, it's kind of flagging. Let's see if this breaks out or takes a total downside. Just a very consolidation range, very it's a flag at the same time, but it's just consolidating sideways. Sometimes this builds up a range and then it goes one way or the other. So let's see which way the bounce breaks out. Apple was the theme yesterday. Apple, obviously, as we know, is the biggest stock in the world, and this, on every $1 it moves, is a huge part of S&P and NQ. Okay, that's the reason I wanted to watch Apple yesterday, because if Apple gave up, SPX would give up, obviously, right? But Apple daily chart, the 5-minute chart, let's just go over it, what they did. So we had this entire weakness yesterday. Then they balanced. They did not break lower for the trend down. What they did instead, had a little short covering, right? They had a little short covering, a few in the middle of the day, but that didn't last too long. They got out of here and they ran out of it. Then the sellers pushed it right back down again. And as soon as Apple took low of the day, and then that's what we were looking at for our 3900 SPX put play that we nailed, right? That was the whole reason that we nailed that play. That if Apple breaks down further, takes out the low of the day, SPX should break 3900, because obviously Apple is the one that usually moves the market on key levels, sometimes when it moves a lot. Because lately Apple, when it starts moving like this, it has to be on your screen, because the market is on its own as well, right? When Apple is giving you these big candles, it has to be on your screen, right? Because this will always if the entire market is red, let's say for example Apple has one green candle, you cannot be playing puts on an index. They're just going to hold sideways, because Apple has that much power, right? If the entire market is green and Apple is coming down huge, you cannot be playing calls on indices because Apple alone will hold it down, right? So that's why you need to watch Apple when it's giving such big moves. All right, and that's that. And then Amazon also looks pretty ugly now. It looks like it wants to break down. It's gapping down already. It's gapping down a few dollars, and probably sees much lower. Yesterday Netflix had a lot of puts come in. This name, I know it looks good, is holding here, but this has some bearish flow far out. So I'm going to be keeping a close track on this in case it does break down from this range. But for now, it's very strong. Some volume came in here, and let's see how it performs here. But there were some far out puts in Netflix that came in yesterday. Palantir, I was watching the Stanley with Alex Karp interview last night, the one that LB also posted, and just looking at the chart, just holding a base. But I think this will be a great long-term investment if the markets do come down in the coming months and Palantir does take the low of the year. I think I might buy some stock in this company in the coming months. Not right now. I'll let it come down more. I do already have some, actually, in fact, very small position. Google is the ugliest. Low of the year is coming on Google, and that's concerning. Why is Google low of the year coming? Where do they make most of their money from? Right, something to think about. Where do they make most of their money from? They make most of their money from ad companies and whatnot, right? And big chunk of their business comes from there. So that could be the reason. If that spending goes down, and why is that spending going to go down when businesses are not making enough money, right? And they might not have that advertising spending money. So that's just one angle to think of it, right? There could be other pros as well, but I'm just looking at the cons for now. And Google was a perfect bear flag. This was a perfect weekly bear flag, right? And it broke down here, and now it probably continues lower and tests these lows right here of 2021. All right, and NDX also below 12,000 is weak. As long as it holds under 12,000, when NDX breaks this lows, if it breaks lows, I don't know if it does. Let's see what happens. Then we have a bigger fall down, right? If tech does break the lows here, there's a big move down coming. It's going to be huge if it does, okay? Or else I'm open to both sides. Let's see. And chips, let's just go to AMD, similar channel as NQ. So tech, I mean, as long as this also takes out the low of the year, there's a big move down. But then I'm also open to the upside as well. Today is quad breaching. Anything can happen. I have no idea what's going to be happen. All right. Financials also pretty weak on the weekly basis. Now we're gapping down, and let's see if we can take out these lows and then eventually low of the year, maybe I don't know. And then if we take out these highs right here, then obviously it can go back up. But given the macro fundamentals and factors, I think this breaks down in the coming months. So let's see. With this, guys, I think we'll see you guys live on voice chat, and